I don't think he's a threat at all. I mean, he's polling in the polls that have been run, the 9 polls that have been run in 2015 for Republican voters, he's polling somewhere between 3 and 9%. So I agree with Heidi that the Republican Party has an issue with warmed over candidates, but he's not actually the answer, that he is not embraced by the party. And most specifically, he's not embraced by the party elite.
Well, how about that now? That's Caroline Heldman on MSNBC. Caroline is an associate professor of politics at Occidental College, and she was talking about the announced candidacy for president by Texan Ted Cruz. You know, that professor kind of sounds like professors used to sound about Ronald Reagan. Speaking of the name Reagan, we got to go in depth on politics with one of our favorite guests. He is Michael Reagan, and you can follow him on Twitter at Reagan World. And also with us, again from Newsmax Washington, my former colleague on Capitol Hill, ex-Congressman Pete Hoekstra, who, of course, was the former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Michael, before we get to presidential politics, got to ask you about Harry Reid calling it quits. Your take on that?
Listen, I think my take on that is terrific. I wish you would have done that a long time ago. We had a lot more legislation passed since Barack Obama became president of the United States of America. But you only probably sees the writing on the wall. I mean, he's getting up there in age. He just got hurt, this past year, very badly when he was working out. But, when you've been in first place for so long, it's really tough to play second place. And I think that's what he sees. He sees the writing on the wall. There's no future for him. Time to step down and go away.
Hey, Michael, this is Congressman Hoekstra. Your reaction on the analysis that we just heard about Ted Cruz entering the race, your analysis of where this Republican field is headed in 2015 and ultimately towards the nomination in 2016. Where are we?
I tell you what, they picked your bracket. It's like watching March Madness, isn't it?
Hey, I got on my Wolfpack tie. Go Pack. We got Louisville tonight. But back to politics. It's okay.
But it is just like watching your bracket. The only thing that bothers me is I don't want to get in a situation. I wrote an op-ed piece about this. What happened in 2008, 2012, where you've got all these conservatives running. I mean, you've got more moderate or centrist Republicans out there, and then everybody's yelling and screaming that everybody wanted George Bush or Jeb Bush. Everybody wanted Chris Christie. You don't want to have the conservatives split their own votes and then allow someone that the base doesn't like to win the nomination. My dad won it in 1980. He was the only conservative in a sea of moderate and liberal Republicans. He was the only conservative. He wasn't splitting the vote with anybody. He had a great message. So I don't want to see 20 people out there, in fact, running, where it becomes a train wreck. I think we should pick our candidates a little bit earlier and get behind them and back them and be there on election day for them. You're going to have people on the right, you're going to have people in the center, you're going to have people on the left running. But my goodness gracious, as a party, thank God they're all members of the Republican Party. Let's not kick them out. We don't have a big enough party to kick people off the bus. We need to be that big tent Republican Party and embrace all of them and support whoever the nominee is.
Well, one thing about Ted Cruz, he got an early start. And another thing about Senator Cruz that reminds folks of your dad, Michael, is this disdain from academia and from the media. So many people beating up on Ted Cruz. Will that damage him, or paradoxically, will that strengthen him with the conservative base?
I mean, it is what it is. You listen, you can watch MSNBC, they don't say very nice things about me. I mean, they never found anybody they liked. So, I mean, MSNBC is not going to make the determination who people are going to vote for in 2016. He got in early, did it at Liberty University. I spoke last year at the convocation at Liberty University. It's a great venue for him to speak at, to make the announcement, and what have you. Now everybody's going to have to figure out what their message is going to be. This election's got to be about a message. And the message cannot just be, let's beat Barack Obama or let's beat just Hillary. What is the message? Ronald Reagan had a message, a unifying message, and a message that people wanted to be part of. We have to find what that message is going to be in 2016 and embrace whoever that messenger is. And something else, be a cheerleader for America. We have no cheerleaders for America right now. And America needs a cheerleader. America needs to feel good about herself, where she's going, and who she is in the world that we live in.
So you've outlined the message. In your mind yet, is there anybody who has emerged as the likely messenger? Is it just too early?
No, I think it's really too early. I mean, you grow through the system and what have you. I think they make a mistake, though, attaching themselves to my father. Listen, we were lucky enough to have a Ronald Reagan in our lifetimes. Why the heck we're looking for another one is beyond me. What we need is a leader. And let's find that leader, that person who can lead us into the future and be that person who's going to be strong for America, no matter if it's home or abroad. And I think we do a disservice by looking for Ronald Reagan because nobody's going to match up. We weren't looking for Abraham Lincoln when we elected Ronald Reagan. We were looking for a leader, and we found one. So let's look for that leader and quit putting them up against my father because they will all fail in comparison to Ronald Reagan. I think they make a mistake by trying to attach themselves to my father. Remember, most people voting today don't know who in the heck Ronald Reagan was.
Taking a look at foreign policy and talking about a leader, obviously you don't agree with the strategy of leading from behind. Your analysis of what's going on in the Middle East and where that leading from behind has gotten us.
And we got about a minute 30, Michael.
I think we see what's going on in the Middle East because of lack of leadership. The United States of America, the world looks to the United States of America for leadership in the world. When we don't lead in the world, you get what you get. We have turmoil, absolute turmoil around the globe. You know, I tweeted here a few weeks ago, do you remember Ronald Reagan's press conference when he went into Libya? No, he didn't have one. Remember his press conference when he went into any one of these countries? No, because he didn't have one. He did it. He acted as President of the United States of America. And I don't think we need a president who has to check in with the United Nations every time they want to be President of the United States of America either.
And on that note, Michael Reagan, you had some great things to say about your dad. I don't think it's anyone wants to impersonate him. They want to link with him. And I would note for the record, maybe Pete's familiar with this too, our friends out in Oklahoma changed the annual Lincoln Day dinner. It was my honor a few years back to be the first speaker at the annual Lincoln Reagan Day dinner. So obviously, your dad is fondly remembered, and Michael Reagan, you are one of a kind as well. Now, there's plenty more ahead. We thank you for your time. When we come back, Dr. Alan Diehl will talk about this strange story of the Germanwings jetliner and apparently a deliberate crash. Pete Hoekstra will stay with us. And right now, Miranda Kahn has a Newsmax Now update. So stay tuned.